So, shalom to one and all. This is gonna be the next part of the series of the perpetual calendar that I have compiled with the information that I've gathered. First part of the video series, I showed the solar calendar, I showed the lunar calendar, I showed how to mash them together, and I've been talking about this format for the creator's calendar, the cosmic calendar 364 enochian calendar. Now, I've been pushing forward these videos for some time now because of my phone keeps acting up and battery is gone, and the more memory gets full, the faster the battery drains. So I'm again try to keep these videos short. Have to keep them around 15 minutes. Now, to go into this calendar format and why with my information I believe Enochian 364 is the correct calendar. We have to establish first some premises. I already talked about the lunar calendar, how it's wrong, and there are so many reasons why you can't just blindly say choose using a lunar calendar. So that's correct. Watching the lunar phases, all that. I have on the first video playlist I have 3 support videos that I've taken from the other researchers, and they cite books where this information is, how the Greeks changed the priestly calendar, forced lunar calendar on Hebrew people, and the ones who didn't comply had the death penalties. In those records and historic documents, they only mentioned about people who were put to death who didn't follow. There was all kinds of tools and persuasions, so people were more than happy to follow the demons, fallen angels, Baal, Ashtaroth, and all those Eastern mystics and the Babylonian deities, fertility gods, Ishtar, Astarte, Baal, because of the troubles they went through, and they just wanted it to be over. Now, I've read many occultic books. I've seen witchcraft historic books or references, how the witchcraft evolved and went through different times, different regions. And in that book that I was reading, the occultic history of witchcraft, in that book they said that when the Christians took the Oriental lunar calendar to be worshipped, the renewing of the moon, they forced inhabitants to comply with the lunar worship, and in those books they even had the records that people who didn't comply, their children, their infants were killed, hanged around the mothers' necks like necklaces, like the little crosses people love to wear, the Christ on the cross. So this was one of the penalties, the dead babies hanging from the mothers' necks as a necklace who didn't bow down to the moon. So I've been having issues and troubles with the lunar Sabbath following persons ever since I came to the Creator's path and met the ecclesias gatherings where people were trying to honor Creator and follow his ways, and the lunar calendar and all this mess keep popping up, and people were citing the moon, when to start following the moon, when to start following the Sabbath. I know quite a deal about witchcraft history, New Age philosophy. I used to flock to that demonic realm before I had my eyes open. So I've been always against moon worship ever since I came out of this stuff and took a different path in my life. So I can see the red flags the second somebody's putting them up, and I can't deal with these people who keep arguing and fighting about it. Even the translators say that while doing the Masoretic text, they put the dots on the different places, and they changed the word moon, the celestial body, and the time period, the new moon and the new month, because those words in the different languages, they're basically the same. Now, the moon is important, and prior to the flood, the calendar was 360 days, not 364, not 354. The current lunar cycle for the year, it always falls 10 days short of the solar. That's 365.25. Translated to 365, and every 4 year is a leap year when there's added a day, 366 day. Now the Enochian priestly calendar follows 364 day calendar. That's divided by 52 weeks. That's exactly 7-day weeks. The Sabbath never breaks. There's 4 seasons, 13 week seasons, and I'm gonna get to all of it later. But because this is the intro video, and again the references for what I was talking about, the changing the times and the calendars, is in the first playlist, 3 support videos, the Maccabean era, and there's a quote from Book of Enoch as well. And this is no video, just audio. I'm using robot translator, or not the translator, but auto voicer online free tool, where you can insert the text and and you can pick what character, what voice, what dialect uh, you want, and it will read it to you. It will make an audio version of the input text. So I've been compiling the sentences and the text from the website that I was using as a reference, which goes into Enochian calendar as well, even though the researcher throws some things off. There are many very accurate descriptions and direct citations from the Bible, book, chapter, and verse, and extra biblical text as well. So in that sense, this researcher has done the legwork, but fall in error with explaining away solar calendar, Gregorian calendar, and Julius's calendar. You can go and dance around it different ways, but you can't change the fact that the sun's yearly circuit is different from the Creator's 364, and because the sun is going extra day and extra day in every 4 years, Enochian priestly calendar has to add a leap week, and so it wouldn't break the 7-day cycle. Now, again, I'm going too long and rambling this intro for this playlist. But the basically idea is, with the leap week, you can't just go 364. Your seasons will be off, your feast will be off, everything will be off. But if you look at the pattern, as I've mapped out and looked myself with correlation of another researcher who's done his calendar. There's a 5 years, there's a 6 years, there's a 5 years and 6 years, and there's a in some instances in 5 years there's a 1 leap year, or in 6 years there's a 1, or in 6 years there's a 2 leap years. This extra 29th day in February. The issue with it is, if you put the leap year or the leap week when you start counting your weeks in a wrong place, then I have here somewhere. I've been trying to get this as organized and as clean as possible to make this presentation. But the point is, when you start adding the 364-day years and comparing them to 365.25, those leap years, you add all the days up, and if you start your leap week in a wrong time, in a wrong year, at some point you fall behind. As I was looking at the different versions, I managed to write down where I should put the year 1, and at the end of every cycle I wrote down how many days I was off from the cycle, so not to break the Sabbath, not to break the 7th day. And if you put the leap week in the wrong year, you start counting on the wrong years, within 3 cycles you fall behind or go ahead 3 to 4 days, and at some point it's almost a week you're out of sync. And if you're so much out of sync, you can't keep the correct time, because you have to take the solar cycle as your baseline. Okay, this video has gone over 15 minutes already, so I'm gonna have to cut this short, and then I'm gonna go back to the Genesis, go back to the first book, and show that pre-flood there was a different calendar, not the ones we're using right now. Pre-flood there was 360-day calendar, and month was 30 days only, and then the lunar cycles were correct. So first I'm gonna have to go through these verses, all this documentation to even get to the point to apply this calendar. So shalom for now.